Algebra 1. This is going to be notes for 2.6. So we're going to talk about inequalities. So if you have an arrow pointing less, this is less than. Has an equal sign, it's less than or equal to. This is greater than. If you have a little line, greater than or equal to. And then this is not equal. All right, so in words, so x is greater than 4. So what you're going to do is you can create a number line, and you're going to put, because you don't have a, if you don't have a line underneath it, it's going to be an open circle. So we want numbers going to the right. And then we're going to talk about something called interval notation. So we're going to go from 4 to infinity because it goes forever to the right. And you're going to use a parenthesis on both. Infinity always has a parenthesis because it's an open dot. The 4 has a parenthesis. This is x is less than or equal to -2. So again, create yourself a number line. -2 is to the left of 0. This is going to have a solid dot at the -2 because you have the equal sign. Okay, and then you're going to shade it to the left. And you're going to talk about the interval notation. It's coming from -infinity to -2. So the infinity has a parenthesis, but the -2 has a square bracket, or sometimes we might call it a hard bracket. This is y is less than 0. So we have 0 right here. It's going to be an open dot. We want values less than that, so you're talking about the negative numbers. So again, that's pointing to -infinity, so it's going to go reading left to right, -infinity to 0, and you're going to use a parenthesis because we don't have an equal sign. This is z is greater than or equal to -10. So if you have 0 here, you have -10 down here. This is going to have a solid dot at the -10. I don't know why that keeps going away. And we're going to go greater than. So this is pointing to infinity. So it's going to be from -10 to infinity, parenthesis on the infinity, and you're going to use a square bracket because you have the equal sign, or a hard bracket. This is x is less than 4. So you have 0 here. To the right, you have 4. You're going to have an open dot at the 4, and it's going to be less than, so you're going to the left. So that's pointing to -infinity. So you're -infinity to 4, and it's going to be a parenthesis. Sometimes we might call parenthesis a soft bracket. And this one's a little trickier. So 0 is less than, you want to split this up a little bit before you do anything. Break it into two things. So I'm going to get this, which I'm going to flip over, and then I have this. So y is greater than 0 or equal to 0 and less than 10. So you have 0 here, you have 10 here. It's going to be a solid dot on the 0 because you have the equal sign. You're going to have an open dot at the 10 because you don't have the equal sign with it. You're going to shade in between. And for this one, it's going to be hard bracket from 0 to soft bracket 10. All right, so this one, we want to make the inequality. So we want greater than -2. And let's do the interval notation. Soft bracket from -2 to infinity. This one is going to be x is greater than or equal to -4. So we want a hard bracket at the -4 going to infinity, because infinity is to the right on both of those. This is -infinity this way. So this is going to be x is less than 0. So you're going to have -infinity to start because you're starting at the left, and you're getting to 0, and it's going to be a soft bracket or a parenthesis at 0. Number 10 says the temperature of cooked chicken needs to be above 165 degrees. Okay, so above 165 degrees is going to be this. You really can't get to infinite, but let's just go with it. So this is x has to be greater than 165. This is the interval notation. This is the equation. Your bank account cannot go below a $50 balance. Okay, so your balance has to be bigger than 50. Okay, can't go below that. So then you're going to say, I guess it could also be equal to. So we're going to say 50 to infinity. Oh my gosh, infinity. Holy cow. That's a lot of money if you have infinite money. To make the varsity team, you have to run the 100-meter dash in under 11 seconds. Okay, so this one you want to think about it. Can you run negative seconds? No. So you can go from 0 seconds to 11 seconds. Okay, so this is going to be x is, or 0 is less than x, less than or equal x, which is less than 11. That's kind of a goofier one to think about, because could you really do 100 meters in 0 seconds? I don't know. All right, this worksheet is we're gonna fill in the brackets for you. So this is your homework, but you can keep the video going. X is greater than or equal to 6. So I have 0 here, I have 6 here, so greater than or equal to 6. So it's going to be a solid dot at the 6 going this way. So that's pointing to infinity. So it's going to be a hard bracket, 6 to infinity. This is G, and then X is greater than or equal to 6 is our equation. This is going to be G is less than or equal to -7. Okay, so we have 0 here, -7 down here. You want values smaller than and equal to. So you're going to have a solid dot there. And then we're going to say that's pointing to -infinity to -7. And it's going to be a hard bracket. This one looks like x is less than 0. So x is less than 0. And so that's pointing to -infinity. So reading it left to right, -infinity to 0, soft bracket. This is m is greater than 4.25. So 0 here. 4.25 is to the right of 0. So we have an open circle pointing to infinity. So this is going to go from soft bracket 4.25 to infinity. This one, we want values less than. So x is less than 2. So if you have a 0 here and you have a 2 here, I have an open dot here, and it's shading this way. We have the interval. Number 6, that looks like about 1.5. So x is greater than or equal to 1.5. Okay, and so this is pointing to infinity, so it's going to be a hard bracket at 1.5 because it's a solid dot. This is x is less than or equal to 3. So 0 is here, 3 is to the right of it. So I'm going to have a solid dot here at the 3, and then we're going to shade it to the left. So that's pointing to infinity. Read it left to right, -infinity to 3, hard bracket. This one is x is greater than or equal to -2. So I'm going to have a 0 here. To the left is -2. So this is going to be a solid dot at -2. And it's going to shade to the right. That's a solid dot there. N is less than or equal to -1. Less than or equal to -1. There's our equation. So if you have 0 here, -1's to the left. We are going to smaller values, so we're going to the left. And then That's pointing to negative infinity. Read it left to right, negative infinity to negative 1, hard bracket. So 0 is greater than, or y is greater than 0 and or equal to 0 and less than 10. So you have a 0 here, you have a 10 here. This is going to be a solid dot on the 0. This is going to be an open dot at the 10. We're going to shade in between the two. And so this is going to go from square bracket 0 to 10, reading it left to right, and this is a soft bracket there. It says write the inequality. Okay, temperature in a refrigerated truck is kept at or below 38 degrees. Okay, so I guess you're going to negative infinity, 38 at or below. So you could say that x is less than or equal to 38. You drew this on a number line. You have 0 here, you have 38 here, solid dot, and it's going this way. So that's solid dot. Minimum speed on the highway is 45 miles per hour. So x has to be greater than or equal to 45. So that means I can go from 45 square bracket to infinity. Yeah, you're not really going to go infinity, but so if you have 0 here, you have 45 here. This is going to be a solid dot at the 45, and it's going to go forever this way. I don't know why that keeps disappearing on me, but we'll make it work. At a local plant shop, no rose bushes are expected to reach a maximum height of 4 feet. Okay, so it's going to go from 0 to 4 feet. So maximum height's this. I guess it could be 0 feet. So we're going to go 0 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 4. And on a number line, we have 0 here, we have 4 here. So it's solid dot here, shade this way, solid dot there. Oops, I don't know why my solid dots went bye-bye, but there we go. At a pet store, certain fish must be kept in a tank at least 400 cubic centimeters of water. So it has to be at least 400 centimeters of water, but it can be up an infinite amount. So it's square bracket because at least there. So this is going to be x is greater than or equal to 400. And so on a number line, if you had 0 here, you had 400 here. This can be a solid dot at the 400 and shade to the right. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve these. So I'm going to add 7 to both sides. X equals 2. I'm going to divide each side by 6. X equals 7. You can flip that over if you want. This one you're going to subtract 9 first. Those cancel, so 14x is equal to, what is that going to be, 14. Divide each side by 14. So x equals 1. Number 18, we want to distribute over the parentheses, so that's going to give me 6x minus 15 is equal to 21. Add 15 to both sides. Those cancel, so 6x is equal to 36. Divide each side by 6. So x equals 6 because 36 over 6 reduces. This one we're going to distribute the negative to both. Make sure you change the sign on both. Subtract 4 from both sides. Those cancel. All right, so let's solve this. I'm going to get negative 2x is equal to 20. Divide each side by negative 2. X is equal to negative 10. And then this last one, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides first. So I'm going to x over 5 is equal to negative 6. Multiply both sides by 5. Those cancel, so x equals negative 30. And that should help you with the homework. Next lesson we will talk about is 2.7. Have a nice day. Take care of one another.